What's up everybody, it's Jess, and today we're going to be talking about how to write what you don't understand. And this is a very difficult topic to talk about because I don't understand it. Okay, I'm not going to make terrible puns this entire time, I promise. So, how to write what you don't understand. This is a question that I used to get all the time when I was writing for fanfiction in the Hunger Games series, because I wrote about a bunch of weird things and bad things. I'm talking terrible things that I didn't know what I was talking about. I understand a lot more now than I used to, but at the time I kind of was like, whatever, I'll just do it. Figure it out later. How to write what you don't understand. And what I'm going to mostly be talking about is how to write for situations you don't talk about. Next week we're going to be talking about genders. Gender, the lack thereof. How to write about situations you've never been in, you don't understand. So, first and foremost, always go to the Google machine. Always trust our overlords Google, because they do know what they're talking about. You can find blogs about people who have been through situations like that. You can find historical documents if you're doing a historical fiction of some sort. If you're doing a futuristic fan fiction, you can find so many things about people predicting the future. Or you can look at scientific documents, and you can look at, anything under the sun. You can find it on Google, I can promise you. And it's just so much easier when you look up, how does this feel? What does this look like? One of my fan fictions that I constantly point out for this is I wrote a fan fiction where all of my characters were sick, needed like heart transplants, stuff like that, because of Grey's Anatomy. Shout out to Grey's Anatomy for inspiring that one. But I mostly looked up a lot of that stuff. I looked up, what does a heart attack feel like? What does a blood transfusion look like? What kind of medicine is there? I fudged a lot, not gonna lie. I totally made up a bunch of stuff. Because again, I was using Grey's Anatomy as my connoisseurs of knowledge, So I was like, well, just slap something in there. And that's tip number 3. Definitely make stuff up. If it's not a situation that we can tangibly get to, like in real life, if it's not something like say you're doing the Hunger Games, for example, and you want to do some weird thing with it, and you want to have a different post-apocalyptic universe, just make it up. Just make it up. I promise you it's not as, weird as it sounds. If you are a good writer, it will make sense. The weird things that we do, the things we do not understand, sometimes we just gotta fudge it. If you've never been to war and you're writing a war fanfic, make it up. Just kind of be like, yeah, okay, well, I think this would happen, and then maybe this would happen. And honestly, I am going to tell you this right now. 85% of the people who will be reading your work have never been in that situation either. They've never been terminally ill, they've never been in a post-apocalyptic universe, they've never been in the 1800s. Every single person that you are writing for has a different perspective and has had different lives leading up to where they've read your work, whether it be fan fiction or real fiction. They probably haven't been in that situation. They don't know what that would be like. And also, every single individual human being is different. Your character is a different person. They would deal with a situation vastly different than you would or than somebody else would. Another thing that I really want to quickly touch on is something that's very, very hard to do for beginners, but once you get the hang of it, it's so much easier and it makes your work so much more realistic, and that is, don't write your characters with your opinions. And I know it's hard. I absolutely do. I understand. You have such strong opinions, you know what you believe, you know what you want to write about because you believe this. Don't make it about that. It's okay to have characters who don't match up with your belief system. I remember one time, I'm about to expose myself. I've never watched or played Pokemon. Do you play Pokemon? I don't know. I don't know anything about Pokemon. Pokemon Go saved my life one time. That's another story for another time. But you're gonna hear that a lot. That's another story for another time. But I don't know anything about Pokemon. I don't dislike it. I think it's yeah, cool. People like it. I'm not about to hate you for liking it, but I did have a character in a story once that I called Anime Nerds playing that stupid Pokemon game, because she was depressed and didn't like Pokemon very much, and people got mad at me. A lot of people were like, Pokemon's not for weirdos. What the hell? What are you talking about? And I was like, I'm sorry. Someone literally messaged me and they were like, I can't believe you don't like Pokemon. And I was like, I've never said anything about not liking Pokemon. That was her opinion, not mine. Separation of character and author. Very, very big. Very necessary in my opinion. It really beefs up your writing, makes it look so much more professional. I like it. It's more fun for me. I don't want to keep writing about myself, you know? Like, I don't want to keep writing the same character over and over again because they're just my opinions and just me. It's so much more fun to write a character that you would never be in a million thousand years, and it's a lot easier than you would think. It's very hard at first because you're like, oh well, but I would never. But once you're able to take yourself out of the equation, it's so much easier to write characters because they stop being plastic almost, like Barbie dolls, and they start becoming real people with real opinions and real beliefs, and oh my god. Writing is coming to life all of a sudden. Yes. I think that's everything for this week. I've talked about how to address writing situations that you don't understand and character points of view that you don't understand. Next week we're going to be talking about how to write genders that you don't understand, and I cannot wait. Super excited. I will see you all then. Bye!